Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. This is Escape Art by Scott. I appreciate you coming back and seeing me. If you're the first time watching me, I hope you come back too. Okay. Before I get going here, I like to say that keep subscribing to my channel. Okay, and hit that like button. Share it with everyone that you know, and share it to ones that you don't even know. And help me out here with my little videos here. And one more thing is that I know I said in the past that anybody can paint. Well, I like to backtrack off of that, okay, and say that really, that ain't really true. Not everyone can paint, because you must have the desire or the need to paint in order to paint. Now, you got a desire to paint. My technique, yes, anyone can paint, as long as you have the desire. It's something like, jumping out of airplanes, what do you call it, skydiving. See, I can do that. I can skydive. I ain't going to do that, okay? And, the people that swim around with these sharks, what do you call them, the free divers, where they're diving in the ocean, and they don't have no air tanks on their backs. They just dive in the ocean. A great white comes along, and they want to grab that dorsal fin and swim along with them. See, I can do that. I can. I ain't gonna do that, all right? Because I have no desire to do such nonsense. I just ain't gonna do it. Climbing up Mount Everest, it's there. It's nice to see and all, but I can climb that mountain, but I ain't gonna do it because I have no desire to do it. Same thing as painting, guys. You need to have a little desire, a little need to paint. Okay, and I have no need to be in that doggone ocean where I could be on the menu of that great white. I ain't doing it. All right, enough on that. Let's get going with the painting here. And what I'm going to do, as you can see, this is a black canvas, okay, but it's a little different shape. What I normally do, this is a 12 by 24 inch canvas. And today I'm going to hopefully do a little scene that you might see in the woods, and some waterfalls back in here. But this particular painting, I want to concentrate on making some rocks. I'm going to have a good amount of rocks in here, and I'll show you how to make some very nice rocks. Very simple way of doing it. Now it's my way of doing it. So just hold on. I'm going to get my paints out and everything and ready to go. Okay, and I'll be right back with you, and be right back. Alright guys, what I've done here, went ahead to save a little bit of time. I just put some phthalo blue all over this top part of the canvas here. Anyone can do that. Just put some phthalo blue on the brush and just brush it in right here. And then you take your brush on another brush and put some white on it. And with this blue right here, and you might want to just lightly spray it down with some mist of water. So you come up here and you apply your white paint, it's pure white paint, and you come up here and look. The white paint mixes in with that phthalo blue, and you get all these little colors right here. Well, it's blue color. And you just brush it in just like this right here. And if I see a little white spot right here, and I think what I'm going to do is have like a little lighted air right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back, I'm going to clean my brush. You need to clean your brush because the paint on here was still a little wet, even though it's acrylic, it's still wet, and some of the blue came off on my brush. Now if I take that brush back into my white paint, that white paint will start turning blue. You don't want that. So go ahead and clean your brush off thoroughly, and then dip it back in your white paint and come back up here, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Let me go clean my brush. Alright, I'm going to dip my brush back into the white paint, come right up in here with some more white right around in this area, and this will be the brightest spot. in the painting. It's kind of like maybe it's a sunrise. The sun is just starting to come up. And be careful, you know, again, it's picking up that blue, so don't go back into your center. Leave that white right here, okay? So I'm gonna go clean my brush off, be right back. Now I wanna come back here with some grass. Like it's coming right out of the light here. And I'm just gonna tap in some green grass right here. Maybe there's another nice hill coming up. Something like that. There's another hill right here. That could be forming, and you know, a good way you can form your little water up here that's about to come. All right, guys. I want to talk a little bit. I'm about to make some rocks here. I got two colors here. I got what do you call raw umber and burnt umber. These are a couple of browns that you might use. Now, I would suggest get one or the other because they're very almost identical to color. So again, it's burnt umber and raw umber, and they one of each. I mean, just one or the other. And again, to me they look almost the same color. And here I got this is called burnt sienna. Now, burnt sienna has a little hint of alizarin crimson in it, or reddish color. So get this and either burnt umber or raw umber. Enough on that. Alright, what I've done right up in here is I put in a little bit of the phthalo blue and a touch of black, because I don't want this to be too bright or white. If you go straight white on it, it might be a little bit too too bright, because this is still way off in the distance. So you just come up here with a very small little brush and just start making your little water marks. Come down a little bit of waterfall way back there. Alright, then what you do is you can come, and now I mix me up some paint. I mix me up some of those browns I told you about, the burnt umber and the raw sienna, and I threw a little black in there and a little yellow ochre, you know, good, nice good rock color. Okay, you won't find no pink in my rocks, all right, or greens or purples and stuff like this. And again, when you put your water in, put your water in first, and if you can put a rock or a tree or a bush in front of it, then do that. I found it best to do that. Try to get away from adding your rock and then trying to squeeze in your water behind that rock. For me, it never turned out too good for me. So anyway, you come back up here and just make your little rocks. Again, this is way out there, way too far. It's too far. Something like that. Put a little something on this side over here. God has something contained in this water, right? Just like that. Alright. Still going on. I just came right down here with some more blue and some more black right below that waterfall. And it's good that you get your paint on your brush, wipe some of the excess off. I still got a little bit too much. Come on. Another waterfall right there. Then you come on the side of that. You come right here, put a rock right there. See what I mean? It's easier to put in your rocks after you put the water in. For me it is anyway. Again, I'm just using the very tip of that there. To see how much paint I got now? Hardly any paint. Like that. And I want to keep going back and forth here. Going back and forth. Add your little blue paint in here as you're coming down and work back and forth. I'll do a little more for you and then I'll be right back. Alright, see how I'm doing this right here? I'm going kind of almost like a zigzag, going back and forth with my waterfalls. And notice I got right here, I went ahead and dropped 2 waterfalls in. Because I didn't want to get a pattern here, one this way, one that way. Avoid patterns in your landscape paintings. Don't do it. The nature don't have patterns, okay? There we go. And another thing is that when you're going to drop in 2 waterfalls, kind of make them a little, one a little bigger than the other one. And drop that waterfall down just a little bit more than this one here. Don't make it even across. Avoid those patterns. And just keep going back and forth with your rocks and everything. Later, we're going to come back and put all kind of foliage through here too, as well. So don't worry about that. Be right back. Alright, I'm getting a little closer now down here. Getting more closer. And on this waterfall here, what I did was I put a little stone right there, right about in the middle of that waterfall. And now I got the water going around that stone. And it's just a little game that you can play. And also I'm getting close enough where I took away the black and I added some phthalo green. So it's phthalo green and phthalo blue probably the rest of the way, okay? So as you get closer, a little bit more detail, a little more color, you can see just a little bit more. And I want to continue on here and I'll be right back. Alright. Came right down there, making a nice big old waterfall as you can see here. And I put some phthalo blue and phthalo green in here. Now I'm going to come back with some white on a palette knife. And I'm just going to come right in here and just skim across this. And come right down. Look at that. Over and then come down. Let it break. Let this thing break. Meaning all these little holes right here. And something like that. Keep going back and forth until you find what you're looking for. And I think I'm going to leave it just like that. And it's okay, when you're making these waterfalls, make them a little bigger than what you normally would do, because you can always come back, add foliage and rocks and things, and that waterfall will shrink up. So it probably is a good idea to make it just a little bigger than what you would want. Again, you can close it up. Now, if you make it too small and you start having foliage in there, now you might run into a problem that's smaller than what you want it to be. So keep that in mind, okay? Don't go nowhere. We still have to add all kind of trees in there and foliage. We're going to have a good time. Come back. All right. I done with my waterfall here where I got it at. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn this bottom here into a big old lake or pond or something, whatever you want to call it. And just make sure you get some little blue on your brush here, some more phthalo blue, from right here up under the waterfall. And just with your downward strokes. And then come back with some phthalo green. Nice phthalo green. Again, right up in here. Not too much of the phthalo green. Very strong. Alright, got that. Now I'm just going to come back in here with some white. Again, right up under here. Right up under the waterfall. Come down with some white. Not too much of this white either. And then what you do with your brush, you just go across. This gives the water effect like there's a shine. Why it does that, I don't have a clue. And I don't care. It just works. There, you got a nice little pond, lake, whatever you want to call it. And Paul, I like to add, look at what all I've done here. You know, have I done anything that you can't do? You know, as long as you got that desire, what I've been talking to you about, you could do this. Now, there's other artists out there, you know, I got to say they're probably a whole lot better than me. They know they're, you know, studied art all their life. I have not, you know, this is not a... this is, you know, painting is not a life for me. It's just a little hobby of mine. So that I picked up some years ago. So I probably don't know more about art than you do. Okay, but what I made out of, you know, a lot of it would take them, I don't know, 2 weeks to do this. You know, not me. I get in there and I do it. I don't spend all day long, you know, making rocks. You know, I don't know if I say I don't have the patience to do it. It's just not needed. That's what that is. It's just not needed to spend all that time and effort. And I just paint a little stone in a painting. So again, my way might not be your way. So you know, there that is. And I'll be right back. All right, it's time I want to start putting in the grass, some more grass. And some more foliage, bushes and things, and so I'll be right back. Alright, I want to continue on making my grass up here, and I'm using that type of brush, and see how thin that is. It's very thin because it's too far away. Now, I'd like to make that point out. See how thick that brush is compared to this one here? I mean, it's really thin. Let me get it. There you go. It's really thin. If I use this thick brush, it'd be too much detail up here, and I don't want that. So, far away, use your smaller brushes. And just come right back in here. And kind of have it going down. You know, going down like that. Then I'll come up here again. I like going downhill. There you go. Go downhill with it. and just tap it all in. You know, a good thing about these black canvases is that, I mean, you don't have to add anything dark in there in order for that light to show. And your canvas is already dark, so it's taken care of. You can almost, if you took your time, you can almost make these dark canvases look like it's in the daytime. Almost. I'm going to continue on filling all this in, okay, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm going to stop right here. Notice how I blocked all this water in with this nice grass right here. I'm coming down here, and I'm going to, I have already started it, but I've dropped the grass as it's going down. You know, you see a lot of ferns and type stuff like this in these woods and all. And I'm coming down, straight down. Alright, and also I took a palette knife, where's that at? This palette knife right here, and I just made me some more rock color, and just come up here and just touch it. You know, kind of like a wall or something. You come over here too. Right there. Something like that. Come back with some more black. Very nice. Kind of like that. I just thought of this using this palette knife and just touching it. And let the canvas pull off what it wants. And that canvas is a whole lot smarter than I ever will be. I thought I'd just show you that, okay? And so now you know how I done it. Alright, I'm going to continue on with this and I'll be right back. Alright. Go ahead and finish it all that in. As you can tell, I'll put in some rocks. Like I told you at the beginning of the painting, this is going to be a little painting all about some rocks here. And so now I'm going to come back in here and put in some more of these little watery lines. I'll put a stone right here, right about the middle of the waterfall, off to the side here a little bit. So I didn't want it straight down the middle. And just come back in here, right around that stone. And put in little watery lines here. Water lines, all they need to do is be straight. Sometimes I have some problems of making my water lines straight. You know, a good thing to have if you got a little nervous twitch about yourself, you know, get a ruler, place a ruler there, and then you can't go wrong with that, right? Some more water lines. Just give it right across. Something like that. Now I'm going to come back. You know, we got all this water falling down. Probably should have done that before I put the rocks in. Come back up here and make your little splashes. See, that rock was still a little wet. And I touched it, see? So I'm going to leave that alone, let that dry, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm done with this painting here. And get my little pointer. And what I did, what you can do also is you can come back in here with some flowers. I put in some purple flowers right through here, just some vines, put a little foliage here growing up out of the ground here, and I put some trees back in here. And I'm doing this because my camera's about to go dead out on me again, and go through all the process of charging it all up again and all. I think you got the majority of the idea. What you could do on a different size canvas. Again, this is a 12 by 24 canvas, and I just want to show you what you can do, and also put on these nice rocks everywhere, and that's mainly what I wanted to show you. Those rocks and what you can do on a canvas that's different size and all. Again, guys, I hope you really enjoy my videos. Maybe helping a few of you out painting. Again, this is just a hobby of mine. I'm no expert by any means of painting, but I like doing it, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. And again, if you don't think you can paint, then still keep watching my videos. Hopefully, my videos at the very least is a little bringing some enjoyment to yourself, okay, and that make you keep coming back and want more. So keeping with this, I think my next painting is going to be on a 16 by 20 oval. I got a few blank ovals I got laying around here, so I believe I'll do that one next. And so if you want to see that, you got to come back and see me. And until then, next time, guys, take care of yourselves.